Welcome back, trainers. So we've received news that the next EX raid boss is in fact going to be Mewtwo, returning with Shadow Ball. So this is great news for newer trainers because Shadow Ball Mewtwo is going to be a fantastic raid counter a lot of the time. If it's weak to Ghost, Mewtwo with Shadow Ball is going to appear on the list as one of the counters, more than likely. So if you're thinking to yourself, well, great, I have a whole bunch of Shadow Ball Mewtwo's, or I have a couple, and now they're going to be devalued. You know what? It is what it is. You should expect this out of Niantic from now. And there is also a whole bunch of new players that need Shadow Ball, as a matter of fact. So personally, myself, having basically a full team of Shadow Ball Mewtwo's powered up, I'm not salty about it whatsoever. Newer players need it, and it's just simple as that. You have to come to terms at this point that when we receive something that's exclusive, it's not going to stay exclusive for long, or as exclusive as it currently is. It's going to get devalued a little bit, probably over time. Anyways, what do we have going on here? The next EX Wave passes for September 5th that are issued will be for that Mewtwo, coming back October 5th. So just take note of that if you start hitting those EX Raid gyms after the next wave, because I did just receive a pass. And yes, the next two are going to be Deoxys Speed Form. I know. I'm probably not even going to go, to be honest with you. Yes, it's items, but to be honest, it's a little bit of a hassle sometimes to just get out of your way to go do a Deoxys Speed Form. So October 5th, as you can see, clarification here, will be returning with the Ghost type move, Shadow Ball. Very exciting stuff here. Very fitting for October, Halloween, spooky, shadow, woo, you know. Right. So pretty cool that we can get that in the shiny variants as well. Now, moving on to the stats here, Mewtwo is going to have a max CP of 4,178, attack 300, defense 182, and stamina 214. This thing is an absolute monster. It's going to be weak to Bug, Dark, and Ghost, resisting Fighting and Psychic. So taking a look at its massive move pool here, it is going to have several legacy moves. Psy Strike is going to be legacy once it does leave the current raids that we do have now. Shadow Ball is going to be exclusive to the EX raids, but still somewhat of a legacy, as well as Hyper Beam. I don't know why it's not on the list, but it's not useful whatsoever, so we don't really need to worry about that. Taking a look at the quick moves, we do have Psycho Cut and Confusion. I'm a big fan of that Confusion, as you may know. Charge moves, Focus Blast, Psychic, Thunderbolt, Flamethrower, and Ice Beam. So it is going to be a pretty good Ice Beam user. There's going to be better Ice-type Pokemon to use, of course, but Mewtwo is going to be pretty fitting a lot of the times. So this is something you're definitely going to want to go and actually try to get a Shadow Ball. If you do not currently have them, or you need a better IV one, then now is the time to get out there, because as you're going to see, we're going to be going over the counters that are going to be strong against Mewtwo, and itself actually appearing on the list. Most of the time we get a Psychic, well, should I say every single time we do get a Psychic raid boss of some sort, it is going to have Mewtwo on the list with Shadow Ball as one of the counters. So this is something you definitely want to go out there and get. With an attack of 300, the thing is just a tank. And who does not want a Shadow Ball shiny Mewtwo that has a nice ring to it, and I can't wait. So this is going to be pretty exciting stuff here. Back to the old days where I would literally hit every single EX gym that spawned a raid. Man, that was exhausting. Time to get even more tired because, well, I can't pass this one up here. This Shadow Ball Mewtwo is going to be great. Not to mention, I've done about 65 raids, and I've only gotten one shiny Psy Strike Mewtwo. So, not complaining. I know there's people out there who've done probably that many, haven't received any, but that's quite a few raids to just get one shiny. Taking a look at the counters to go up against Mewtwo itself, you have Giratina, Chandelure, Gengar, Mewtwo itself, Hydreigon, Tyranitar, Weavile, and then Houndoom. So, as you can see, the Mewtwo is going to have Psycho Cut and Shadow Ball, Chandelure with Hex and Shadow Ball, Giratina with Shadow Claw and Shadow Ball, Gengar with Shadow Claw or Shadow Ball. Lick works as well. And if you don't have those Legacy Gengars, like I always say, those are still going to be okay. It's not going to be the best by any means. It's really going to bring it down many, many pegs if you do not have Shadow Claw or Lick. But, hey, what can I say? Sucker Punch is still going to be super effective. Shadow Ball hits hard if it does have Focus Blast. Hydreigon, it's going to have a few things to worry about. The Focus Blast, the Ice Beam. Other than that, it will be able to resist the Psychic moves as well as the Shadow Ball. Tyranitar, always a fantastic option. Has to definitely look out for that Focus Blast. It will be one-shotting you. Easy money, especially Weavile being a Dark and Ice type. And then Houndoom is just going to be fragile altogether. Alright, so we're going to be going over Giratina altered form coming back in its shiny variants here in just a moment. But I want to clear up the air here and people asking the question, well, can we get Psystrike and Shadow Ball on a shiny Mewtwo or on a Mewtwo in general? And let's talk about that. Well, we currently have it in the raids, which is going to be taken off here in a couple of days. And then it's just going to be an exclusive move. When it returns to the EX raids, when you catch it, it's going to have Shadow Ball. Does that answer your question? You cannot have Shadow Ball and Psystrike on the same Mewtwo. It's just not going to happen unless there was a glitch again in where you're going to be able to DM it when it comes back to the EX raids. I don't think that's going to happen, in which you had a secondary move purchased. So don't do all that in hopes of thinking you're going to TM in and get it. You cannot have Shadow Ball and Psystrike on the same Mewtwo. If we could, oh boy, wouldn't that be amazing? But no, it's either one or the other. So when you go to the EX raid, it's going to have Shadow Ball currently. While it's in the raids, taken off here in a few days, it's going to have Psystrike. Simple as that, and you can't have both. Hopefully that answered your questions. Alright trainers, so Niantic is getting ready for Halloween. As you can see, Shadow Ball Mewtwo, and now this in fact is going to be the next legendary raid. If you're wondering, well, what's going to come after Mewtwo leaves, this is it right here, and it's going to be amazing. So starting on Monday, September 23rd at 1 p.m. PDT till Thursday at October 17th at 1 p.m. PDT, Giratina in its altered form will be available in the 5-star raids. On September 25th, from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. in your local time zone, there will be an increased number of raids. It's going to be legendary raid hour, right? They really need to bump this up to like 2 hours. Seriously, start it at 5 and go until 7. This 1 hour is great. You know, I enjoy it, but come on, give us 2 hours. As far as the free raid passes or a free raid pass, an extra one, you know, we don't need that, to be honest. I mean, some people do, but I'm not going to get greedy. Just extend the time. That'd be great. But not only that, folks, not only that, we are actually going to be able to find a shiny variant as presented on this image here. It looks absolutely amazing in its shiny form. I love it. I'm not too big of a fan of this particular Pokemon. I do like its other form, but for this one here, not so much. The shiny, though, looks fantastic. So let's go ahead and go over this. It's going to have a max CP of 3,379, attack 187, defense at a whopping 225, and stamina at an even higher 284, which is just killer. Amazing. Weaknesses is going to be weak to Dark, Dragon, Fairy, Ghost, and Ice, resisting Fighting and Normal, also resisting Bug, Electric, Fire, Grass, Poison, and Water. The moves on this are going to be Shadow Claw and Dragon Breath. For the charge moves, you have Dragon Claw, Ancient Power, and Shadow Sneak. Ancient Power is pretty cool because you can possibly get a buff in PvP, and that's actually where it's going to shine. You don't really want to use this thing to go up against raids whatsoever, but for PvP in the Ultra League specifically, the thing is just nasty. It's actually really annoying, but I found a good Pokemon to counter it. Ultra League, Drapion, go Drapion. All right, but so yeah, there you have the stats. This thing is pretty good. It has a good amount of weaknesses, but even a bigger amount of resistances, so kind of weighs out even there. Looks pretty nice. Shadow Claw, pretty good move. Dragon Breath, pretty good move as well, especially in PvP, both of those. As far as the other ones, Shadow Sneak and Dragon Claw, both low energy gaining moves, so you'll be able to get them off fairly quick. Okay, so Giratina Altered Form is not going to be so good to go up against raids, so what is it actually going to be good for? Well, that's going to be PvP in the Ultra League. The thing is absolutely nasty. So yeah, I'm glad I haven't purchased a secondary move on one, so I can do so when I get my shiny form. That's right, and I will be doing that. So as you can see, it is number 1 in the Ultra League. Pretty good. Then Mew, Relicanth, Swampert, Cresselia, Deoxys defense form, Scrafty, and Armored Mewtwo coming in at number 8 spot there. So Giratina is good for something. You know, hey, take advantage of this. Get out there, catch as many as you can so you can get candies to buy that secondary move if you do not have one already. Now going up against Giratina itself, well, it's time to bust out those shiny Rayquazas that you did just catch, because that's going to be your number 1 counter and a pretty good one at that, followed up by Palkia, Salamence, Garchomp, Dragonite, and then Dialga here. So I am just going to be showing you the 6. It's going to be mostly Dragon. So obviously the Rayquaza is going to have Dragon Tail and Outrage, Palkia, Dragon Tail and Draco Meteor, Salamence, Dragon Tail, Outrage, Garchomp, let's go, Dragon Tail and Outrage, and then you have Dragonite with Dragon Tail, Outrage, and then finally Dialga with Dragon Breath and Draco Meteor. So there you go, get geared up, get ready, because Halloween is around the corner, and with it is bringing a whole bunch of awesome stuff. Alright trainers, so if you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up. That helps me out big time. Really does. I really appreciate all that. And I would have had this video out sooner, but I was out grinding for my shiny Yanma. Guess what? Look at what we have here. This was literally it. I was heading to the grocery store with my son, finishing up the grind, getting some food to make some dinner, and tapped on one. Bingo! It was shiny. I almost freaked out in the store. Ha! This was about my 220th, 250th tap. No joke. I was out there on the hard grind. They were all over the place because it was raining. So with that said, trainers, thank you for watching, and I'll be catching you all next time. Take care.